Okay, next question. Okay, then I've got a question for the panel. What would you like to see in the next 12 months? What change in the industry would you like to see come through?
Shall I start? Actually, I'd like to reflect some of the comments that the speakers made earlier on. We had a lot about the market moving to be 100% web, the increased drivers of mobility on the workforce. And we even talked about, I think it was Matt from Imagination, wanted to see more of the heavy lifting being done in the cloud. And that's what I see the cloud providing over the next 12 months. So to give you some idea of context of what I'm talking about, we are a security as a vendor, security as a service provider. And if you think most of you today will have some sort of desktop AV, it's quite a chunky little client that sits on your machine, tends to slow you down during the course of your normal day-to-day work, probably takes up something like 70 to 80 megabytes, and is pretty reactive in terms of the protection it provides, because it's looking for a signature. What we see across a lot of cloud deployments is that heavy lifting being done in the cloud. So actually what you have is very lightweight, proactive rather than signature dependent, and able to enable you and your organizations to have mobile workforces that are protected in real time, irrespective of the sorts of devices that they're using. So I think the cloud offers the ability to put protection at the gateway and at the internet level, rather than focusing on the endpoint device.
Okay, and Jeremy, what would you like to see?
I'd like to see rapid adoption by all of you, which is a very sort of obvious thing to say, obvious sort of aspiration. But one of the things that frustrates me about this industry is that it has kind of missed an opportunity, I think. And that opportunity is to connect with all of you as businesses that are struggling to manage cost and to get that balance in your how you invest your IT budget right. And I think that a lot of the case studies, a lot of the examples that are put forward to advance the cause for cloud computing are the very exciting ones that talk about new business opportunities where the economy of scale means that that is only possible on cloud computing platforms. But we are an SI, and we've been working with companies for years, and a number of, any number of our customers really, and the people that we talk to in market are still struggling with this idea of how do we do more with less. And I think cloud computing needs to address that because it can. And so, in one respect, I think, we've heard about the cloud as 100% web, and, that's one consideration and one choice. I actually think that for many of you, your journey into cloud will be hybrid, and it will remain hybrid for quite some time. And if I had all evening, which I don't, I might ask you how many of you think that you have the skills within your business that are relevant for the cloud. I don't know how many of you might think that you do, but I would contend that many, if not most of you do, because the technologies that are now available online are versions of the technologies we've been using for some years. So, my ask of you all is that you do this and you do this quickly, because I think it will help you rebalance the cost structure of your business. And surely that's something that we all want to do.
Okay, and Nathaniel?
Yes, what I'd like to see in 12 months, although I think 18 might be more realistic as a prediction, is I'd like to see the whole notion of the cloud become so ubiquitous in our speaking and thinking about our computing utilities and our computing applications that we actually start hearing the phrase less. And that you just hear that you're using email, not that you're using cloud-based email, because most people will assume you're using cloud-based email. There was a period around 1994, I think, when people stopped saying my internet email address is and just started saying my email address is. And for a lot of us, that was a great day.
Okay, Matt?
Well, I think I'd like to see the growth of our OpenStack product even more in the public arena. We've certainly got 2 companies launching a public cloud version of our object storage cloud files product over the next couple of months or so, Internet and cloud scaling. And I think when we get the Cactus release of our software back in April this year, we're going to see a lot more people releasing cloud servers, infrastructure as a service type offerings and storage offerings out there. And it gives more choice to customers out there, and also it makes it a lot easier to move between cloud providers. And I think giving people that choice and the ability to do it in-house or to outsource it to a cloud provider or to move between them as and when they need to, I think that's essential to the market, and we certainly hope to see that happening a lot over the next 12 months.
Thomas?
So my answer is there's a vested interest in lots and lots of IT companies out there, be it SIs, outsourcers, managed hosting providers, however you look at it. They have a vested interest to keep you on this very slow journey, to keep you on legacy client-server complex architectures, where the cost of doing that, yes, it graduates over a period of time. That's because a lot of companies are having to cannibalize their own core businesses, their own core licensing. What I'd like to see in the next 12 months is for people to see through that marketing and actually accelerate this journey to the web, because people are doing it right now. And we're very, very passionate at Google to say, come and speak to us. Come and talk to us about other people who have actually done that, who've derived benefit from cost reduction and business optimization. Because you don't have to go on a 3 or 4 year journey. You can do that today.
Do we have time for another question, Emma? Okay.
You have one over here?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Shah from the University of Greenwich, and I have a question for you guys. If you are moving towards the interconnected clouds, intercloud, how will that affect the payment system for end users? Will we still have the pay-per-use type of model with interclouds? Thank you.
Matt?
I think, yes, people are going to get more choice, and there's going to be more cloud vendors out there, or more people rebadging their stuff as cloud. And I think payment's going to stay the way it is. People are still going to have to pay per use, because that's one of the biggest selling points about the cloud is the whole pay-as-you-go computing thing. If for years you've had to sign up for a 12-month or 24 or 36-month contract and have that fixed amount, and yes, it's operating expenditure, but still, it's a considerable amount. But being able to actually just pay for what you use, whenever you use it, and to be able to stop using it when you want to and stop paying for it then, I think that's going to stay. And everyone's obviously still going to have their own payment. Maybe that's going to be paid through Google Pay or PayPal or WorldPay or some of those, but yeah, it's still going to be around.
I'd just add that if customers demand some other kind of payment or some other model, it will almost certainly be provided, because most businesses will take money any way they can get it.
Okay, I think we've got one more question, and then we'll break for drinks.
Just the question which came up in the first presentation by an early adopter: how do you get large amounts of data in and out of the cloud?
Okay, Thomas?
Yeah, so for those who know a little bit about our heritage, Larry and Sergey and Eric are very, very passionate about this, the openness, the bi-directional nature of Google. You use google.com because it's free and it's extremely useful. You can go off that platform anytime you like. 2 other guys in the garage could create the next Google, and our business really would die very, very quickly. Larry and Sergey have made sure that every single application that we have within Google has a bi-directional API, whereby you can get information in and you get information out. So again, it's making sure that there's no penalty of choice, and that's in your control.
Okay, but how about coping with the gigabyte and terabyte type situation that Imagination talked about, where they've got feature films and they want different people to collaborate on that film? How are they going to move that in and out of the cloud in a timescale that's going to be acceptable?
That's actually a problem. That's a problem we deal with a lot at Mimecast when we bring in a new customer. Sometimes they have tens of terabytes of old email in PST files, which is not an easy thing to get out. And we found that the most efficient thing to do is to send somebody out with a couple of disks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're seeing the same. Disk shipping, just USB drive, 3 terabyte drive, whack it for the data, send it via courier to the data center. It gets held securely, uploaded, and sent back again. It's the easiest way to do it, and short of actually installing some sort of massive private connection between yourself and your cloud provider, which kind of negates the whole point of the cloud. That's really going to be the only way, I think.
And if it's great if you can just ship the disk, but for certain kinds of data, the process of getting it out is hard enough that you actually may want to ship a person too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And Emma, thank you.